What's going on, my fellow deplorables? Welcome back to the show. My name is Kevin. This is the 1776 Report. The 2022 elections, which were supposed to be a big, giant red wave, a red tsunami, largely did not materialize. It was a good campaign. It was a good election for Republicans, but the red wave did not show up. This was largely due to the fact that millennials and Gen Z voters came out heavy for Democrats, in part due to the Supreme Court leak surrounding Roe v. Wade. Well, the Biden administration knows that they are going to depend on these young Gen Z voters coming out in the 2024 election if he wants to retain the White House. So what do? They hire a bunch of woke, crazy teenage TikTokers to pump Democrat talking points and propaganda on the Chinese-owned app, TikTok. The content that these kids make is cringe. It is ultra cringe, beyond cringe. Here we have a report from Forbes. Biden administration brings in TikTok stars to help sway public opinion over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Okay, so what do you have here? You have the Biden administration hiring young TikTokers in order to pump propaganda. That's what this is. This is not some kids making their own content, expressing their own opinion. They are being given talking points, and they are propagating these talking points on a Chinese-owned app. Report: Biden administration moving toward giving TikTokers their own White House briefing room. Okay, and once you see these kids and this content that they make, it's an absolute joke. These kids are young. They don't have any life experience. They don't know what they're talking about. They are just given liberal woke talking points from the Biden administration, and then they scream into their phone. They scream into the camera. And I guess it works because they have a lot of followers and their videos gain a lot of traction. Allow me to introduce you to Harry Sisson. Harry Sisson is one of these TikTokers that the DNC and the Biden administration have hired. Let's take a look at some of Harry's greatest hits.
Wow, so Tucker Carlson has been exposed. Some of the text messages he sent that led to his firing have been leaked, and they include racist messages and him wishing death on somebody. And this is one of those text messages. He said a couple of weeks.
All right, there we have one going after the American hero himself, Tucker Carlson.
The choice for the 2024 presidential election is already clear. We have President Biden, who's a good man. He's passed historic policy, and he cares about the American people. But what do the Republicans have? Donald Trump, the disgraced, twice impeached former president, who's been indicted.
All right, so that's some of Harry's greatest hits. Young kid, not informed, doesn't know what he's talking about, uses no data, uses no facts. He is just given talking points, and he screams into his camera, and he gets views. The kid has 600,000 followers on TikTok, and the Biden administration is using his platform, and they're using him in order to garner more Gen Z votes. All right, and a Twitter user, Ollie London, a great follow. If you're not following him, give him a follow. He exposes another paid Biden TikToker. This guy here mocking women and promoting transgenderism on TikTok. The other two are being paid by the DNC with the same management. So it was the non-binary guy being paid by the DNC to push the trans agenda. Let's take a listen to what this guy is saying.
Day 12 of being a girl, and we're gonna go buy tampons. Let's go.
Where are they even at?
What the?
I don't know. Which one should I get?
Got the Tampax Pearl. I think these are like little dots to see how much you flow, is what somebody said online. I don't know. Let's do an unboxing. It literally has instructions. Okay, this is a tampon. This thing does not go up inside you. Like, where did that go? Oh my god, what the hell? Okay, so it says you push the plunger up and out comes the baby. Kidding. That just hangs out inside you? How does it, how do you get it out? Is that what this thing's for? Oh, it comes open. Oh, do you like, where does the string go? I bought tampons because I've never bought them before. If you need one.
Here's how it works. Biden says, not Biden because he's got dementia or some neurodegenerative disease. He cannot make these decisions. Somebody in the Biden administration sees these kids on TikTok, says, we'll use these kids to propagate our agenda, to push our agenda, and to hopefully get us Gen Z voters. You then find these guys, Harry, the guy we just went over. Here's another one, Chris Maury. He has 200,000 followers. Harry has 600,000 followers. Okay? You can't just pay these guys. The Biden administration, the Biden campaign doesn't want to just pay these guys themselves. So they use the DNC to funnel the money to these TikTok creators. These kids work for a company called Palette Media Incorporated. They're both working for Palette Media. So the DNC, we have the Biden administration up here. This is the head of the spear. We then have the DNC. So the Biden campaign can funnel their money, their campaign funds to the DNC, who then funnels the money to Palette Media. Then you have the individual TikTokers receiving the funds. We know this because the DNC recently submitted a payment of $200,000 to Palette Media. They also submitted another payment of $10,000 to Palette Media. We're having payments submitted directly from the DNC to Palette Media, and look at these guys' emails. We have Harry at palettemanagement.com. We have Chris Maury at palettemanagement.com. So we know these guys are paid shills. They're being paid by the DNC to push the woke liberal agenda heading into the 2024 election. And the Gen Z voter base, whether we like it or not, is going to be a large voting bloc. And the DNC, the Biden administration knows this, and they're trying to capture this voting bloc. I'm not sure this content is capable of capturing more votes because it's just young kids screaming into a camera. So these guys, they went on to, Harry and Chris, went on to the Tim Dillon podcast recently, which is absolutely hilarious. Tim Dillon, often featured on the Joe Rogan podcast, is a hilarious comedian, and he absolutely obliterated these two kids. Let's take a look.
You literally, all you've done is scream, and now this is the first time you're fucking. So Biden's how old is he? 80?
He's like 80, I think.
So he's 80.
Yeah.
And you're how old?
I'm 20.
So he's 60 years.
That's right.
Older than you. But okay, so a lot of people in the Trump world, he's older too.
Yeah.
Are you guys paid DNC shills?
No, that's just like a conspiracy that's been crafted on Twitter specifically in the recent days. That we've received money from the DNC. We've never received money from the DNC.
They receive money from Palette Media. We went over this. So these guys are right off the jump, they're lying. They are paid by Palette Media, who's paid by the DNC, who is paid by the Biden campaign. It's a bunch of shell game, funneling money through subsidiaries, and ultimately the money ends up in their hands. And we saw the article saying that the Biden administration is planning on giving these kids offices at the White House.
Yeah. When did you get into this? Why do you care so much? I've always found that a declining society, and I think the great Anna Hashin of Red Scare said this, a society really starts to crumble when women and young people get involved in politics. Politics should be for kind of, boring men in gray suits. And when women and young people feel the need, it's like the Hitler Youth, right?
He's obviously joking, but what he's saying about the kids in today's society is somewhat true. When you have the educational system indoctrinating kids with the woke leftist agenda, those kids are going to vote a certain way. That's the game plan here with the liberal Democrats. That is the goal, to indoctrinate schools, to indoctrinate colleges, to indoctrinate the entire academic footprint of America in hope that kids vote the way they've been taught, vote the way they've been indoctrinated.
When women and young people get involved, it's a problem. So why do you keep screaming about that Gen Z should be involved? Why should Gen Z get involved in anything?
Well, to be honest, like two creepy men approached me and knocked on my door 5 months ago, and they were like, "We'll give you X amount of money."
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I just feel like Gen Z's, different. We've never seen America in like real peace, right?
These kids aren't talented. These kids aren't talented content creators. They're not skilled video editors. They're not skilled content makers. They just scream into an iPhone and upload it on TikTok. That is the simplest, most archaic form of content creation. Anybody can do that. They're not especially talented. They're just goofy kids screaming into a phone. I think the DNC could do better.
were born after 9/11. We got into the war on terror. We've had like 3 recessions, right? And so like a lot of us are just very passionate.
All the other issues, I'm not willing to listen to you guys. But like, do you understand how your content can be cringy when like I'm looking at it and you're literally like, Gen Z's gonna step on your fucking throat. Joe Biden's you understand that why do you choose to do it like that?
I don't know. It's bad. Like in hindsight, some of it's very cringe, right? But like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a cringy guy. Like I'm just passionate. I just turn on the camera and I just start screaming about what I'm passionate about and I just post.
No, they do it because TikTok is a freak show. TikTok is a clown show. In order to get views, you have to stand out. If you're just talking normal about politics and spitting facts on TikTok, you're not going to get views. So these kids have to scream into their iPhone and look psychotic in order to get views.
But what I'm saying to you is like, you can make it all about Trump if you'd like, but there's a lot of people that feel that when you guys, you're very, it very much seems that when you're talking, it feels a little North Korea-ish. You feel like you're just talking about one side,
right?
And you're saying, and I don't know, I've never seen a video of you guys criticizing Democrats. I've never seen a video of you guys being introspective at all. In the sense that like, it just seems like you're cheerleaders for one side instead of going, hey, I'm a young guy, I want to be involved. And I'm passionate about this, but like, yeah, maybe our side isn't perfect.
Of course, they're cheerleaders for one side because they're getting their paycheck and their bills paid by only one side.
In this way and that way.
All right, so it basically goes on for about 45 minutes. Tim Dillon just roasting these kids and these kids sitting back laughing at it. Well, I think these dudes should be able to make whatever content they want to make. But the problem here is that they're being compensated. They're getting paid to make this content. And people viewing it don't know that. They don't understand that it's basically a paid advertisement. It's basically a sponsored post, a sponsored video. They are paid actors by the DNC. And I don't know, there needs to be some type of tag that they have to tag on their content that says we are being compensated for this by the DNC, by the Biden campaign. And if the Biden campaign wants to continue to pay these kids, this needs to be recorded and documented. And TikTok and other social media platforms, they're going to have to be very careful with this type of content. These kids are lying, saying they're not paid by the DNC. The media management company that they work for is being funded by the DNC, and then their management company divvies out the money. They are being compensated, and it's basically propaganda. And they got busted, and now it's all over Twitter, it's all over social media, and they got caught. Now they're doing a media tour, going to all these different podcasts, trying to cover their tracks. Well, it's not going to work. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I love you guys. Catch you in the next video. Until next time, peace.